All right, Hi Faith Formation families. We made it through our first week of Faith Formation. Yay! It was not without a little bit of flexibility on all our parts. So thank you all for being patient, for being kind, for understanding. There was a lot of things beyond our control happening in our world this week. So I think the greatest lesson our kids are going to learn from us, from you, from life over the past 2 years is that we just keep praising God in the storm, right? We just keep plugging ahead, keep moving. Life's not perfect, life is messy, and we love God through our messes, and we just keep trying to love each other the best we can. So I think if that's the only lesson our kids get, then we've done a very good job. Those of you that had children here on the night of Sunday night for grade 8 and 9, you probably heard we had a transformer that blew on the side of the church toward the highway, and the culprit was a squirrel. The poor squirrel jumped on the transformer, but it did cut out half of our power. So luckily the kids all had their cell phones on them, they all had their flashlights, and we just kept going, and life was good, and we got through it. And Monday night went great. Tuesday night we did have some glitches, big glitch with the technology. So all of the technology we have right now is new. And it's one thing for me to be testing it by myself in an empty room, and then the real test really comes when we have everybody logged on and everybody sharing the pathways of how all of this works. So there was a few setting issues, a few things that we got to work on, but I think I have it all under control now. We are all going to find out together next Tuesday. Hopefully, so this past week, what happened, when that happened, you all waited for me very patiently to get back online and get everything rebooted. So I appreciate that. We'll continue to do that if it happens again. I don't think it will. I think I've got it figured out, but if it does, thank you for being patient and waiting for me. And then we'll try to do our breakout rooms the best we can. So just kind of keep with us, please. Continue to be understanding as we work all the bugs out. So it went very well. As far as books go, we are still struggling to get books in. So I have been told there are 2 boxes of books coming my way this week. So I am anxiously awaiting that, hoping that is true. That's not our complete order, but that's another bigger portion of the order. So we'll find out what's coming. So I do apologize for some of that. What we did do for K through 5, we had all of the digital copies. And then for 8 and 9, our teachers printed off copies of the original books. So hopefully those are on their way in. Grade 6 and 7, those books are so far on back order that I finally made the executive decision to just use last year's publisher and last year's book. I know we've been using that series for a really long time. That's why I just really wanted to get some newer books. But the content is still very accurate and very true to what we're doing, which is scripture. So grade 6 is Old Testament primarily, and grade 7 is New Testament. So we're just going to use, those don't age too much, right? But I just had been hoping for a more modern approach to it. But we're just going to use the same books as last year because we have them, and I don't want to have you guys waiting like 3 extra weeks. I don't know that it makes any difference to all of you, so if it does, let me know, but we're just going to use the same books we used last year and go forward that way. So that's that for books. So if you're home study or remote learning, you guys are going to see that I've scanned the first chapters that you guys can have to look through, and you can be able to see. Now for the Sadler books for K through 5, those are on what are called ZMAGs, and I think you probably have seen those if you did remote learning last year with your students. Some schools use that, where they just give you the digital version of turning the pages and being able to follow along and read. The other publishers for 6 and 7, 8 and 9 do not offer that right now. I'm trying to get that squared away. So if I have it for next week, fine. But what I did was I just went ahead and photocopied the pages you need out of the physical book that I have. So we have something to look at anyway. So note the different remote Zoom logins below. Those are pretty straightforward, so if you can just log on that night. What I did do this week was I sent out a mass email to parents giving the login. I don't know that I can always do that, so please, please, please be checking the newsletter. If you're not getting the newsletter, and you'll probably all hear me say this in your sleep, but you can always go to www.olqpstm.com, click on the Faith Formation tab, and then click on newsletter. The most current newsletter, this newsletter, always at the top. So if for some reason it's not coming to your inbox and you're finding, so if you know somebody that can't find it, just please direct them, that if it's not coming to you, to where to find it, because it'll have all the up-to-date stuff. If you are a home study parent, all of your stuff, your assignments will be in the weekly newsletter. So you really need to be checking that every week. And it's always a good idea to double check the Zoom credentials, because sometimes, like I said, those can change. I'm going to try very hard for them not to change, but sometimes glitches happen and we have to do that. So just be mindful that it's always a good idea to just double check the newsletter, make sure everything's the same. Okay. All right. So that's it for that stuff. There's one change I'm going to make for dismissal. And the reason for that is when we were dismissing, the best laid plans in my head were great. And then when you get a lot of people in there, then you realize, ooh, okay, that's not going to work so well. So dismissal is our grade 2, because our classrooms are larger. We had to expand the space, but that kind of goes right into the walkway, trying to exit the building that side door that I had told everybody to go out. And so that was kind of causing some congested traffic, but also right in the middle of the grade 2 classroom. So we're going to do a little differently this week and moving forward. And I'll announce this also when we all meet in the classroom, or in the church next week. For dismissal at 7:15 for K through 5, what we're going to do is have you wait in the church, and then I'll go in and pull, one classroom worth of kids at a time. I'll call that classroom to come and bring them into the church, and then they go home with you, and then you guys clear out the front door of the church, and then I'll bring the next classroom. I think we're going to do it that way and see if we have a little less traffic congestion, so we're not all on top of each other trying to leave the building, okay? I'm just going to give that a try and see if that's any better. I have a feeling it'll be a double door, so I think it'll be a little bit easier. So thanks with your cooperation with that. Just trying to keep us all safe, right? On the newsletter, I have the email address for all of the catechists. So if you do have any questions, or you do have anything that, you're not getting an answer from me right away, and you want to ask your catechist about, something that's related to class, then please, by all means, email them, because you make it a little faster. I just want you all to know I have a huge volume of emails that come in, and I do my best to really stay on top of it, but I am, as you know, slow in responding sometimes, and it's not on purpose. It's just the nature of trying to do juggle all 4 places at once. So it's not that I don't want to answer you. It's just that I know for myself, with the time constraints and moving around so much, I don't often get to what I want to. So I don't want to leave anybody hanging. So if you really need an answer to something, you can feel free to ask your catechist and see if they know. Okay. All right. The only other things I'm going to announce is our special events. We have a pet blessing on the 2nd, this Saturday. So if you're getting this on Friday, so it'll be the next day. The pet blessings are in the parking lot of St. Anne's. You can bring your live pet, on a leash or whatever, or you can bring a photograph of your pet, if that is easier and safer. I know my cat would never sit still long enough for something like that. So whatever works for you, whatever your family would like. I think it's just a lovely way to introduce them to number one, blessings in general, and then number two, to honor St. Francis, who his feast day is on the 4th, but obviously we know St. Francis is very well known for his love of animals and creation, and so we are hoping to inspire the children to do that. So the other thing is the family mass on the 3rd, that is at St. Anne's. The family mass is not what we have traditionally seen for a family mass. So what we've decided, because we have talked about COVID concerns, vaccination concerns, so here's what we're thinking for family masses this year. We may have the older students that have been vaccinated who feel comfortable, that want to read, they can read. So 12 and up, if they would like to read, we will start in October with scheduling that, maybe September for the St. Thomas More one, but we won't be able to do that in time for this weekend. But really in general, I'm just asking for families, if they're comfortable, when you come to Mass, the children can be in the narthex greeting people when they come in, okay? And then maybe like at St. Anne's and Lourdes, they still bring up, they're back to bringing up the gifts to the altar. So if you feel comfortable with them doing that, we can do that. I know at St. Thomas More and Queen of Peace, they are not doing that. So what we would do is just, just do the greeting, and then being able to, come out at the end and just kind of worshiping together. And our priests will know that that's a family mass and be trying to explain it better. We're not going to have all the kids come up on the altar like we did in the past. It's just, there's a lot of things because of COVID. It has just everything to do with that. So we're just trying to be safe, but we do want people to worship safely in the building, and we want to encourage families that are feeling comfortable to do that to join us. But as I said, if you're not comfortable, then by all means you can live stream it, and that's fine. This is just for people who are feeling like they're okay with it and they don't mind coming, and they've assessed for their family that that's okay for them. All right. So no pressure. It's not a mandated event. It's just something we're offering if you're feeling comfortable. And then last but not least, the trunk or treat celebration. So we've never done one of these before. This is a brand new, try it, see if we like it kind of thing. In the parking lot of Our Lady of Lourdes parish, which is right there by Seton School. We are planning to have those of us that volunteer to be a host trunk, to come and have your trunk decorated and ready to go by 3 o'clock, because we will have trick-or-treaters coming through, going from trunk to get whatever their treats are. Now, families that are volunteering to have their trunk be decorated, here's the only thing that I would need you to do is to email me so that I can tell you what we're doing. We want all the trunks to have a faith theme, either a favorite saint, story in the Bible, just all about Jesus, all about, the virtues, the gifts of the Holy Spirit. We want it to be educational as well as fun for the kids. So if you are interested in doing that, if you plan to be there with your kids anyway, and you just feel like setting up your trunk for people to come and get a gift out. Now, the prizes, I have all the non-edible prizes. So if you want to bring candy, you are welcome to do that to give out. Please just keep in mind peanut allergies. That's all I ask. But families still that are trick-or-treating, you will have to go with your children, make sure they're getting what they can have, because I can't control all of the nutrition content of that. But I do have all of the non-edible prizes that I will put at everybody's site, whoever's giving out treats. Okay, so we'll always have a non-edible option for those that don't want to risk it for allergy reasons. Okay. But it will be fun, I think, and we encourage the kids to dress up. I think it would be fun if they dressed up as their favorite saint. That would be a really cool thing, but I also know that, people want to dress up in Halloween costumes. So If it works out for your family to dress up as the favorite saint, we would love to see it. If your child really wants to be a robot or an alien, that's fine. Just nothing scary, like nothing bloody and yucky, right? We want to keep this a really light, really a faith-filled event. So if we could do that, that would be wonderful. But I'll have more about that in the newsletter, so I'm just giving you the heads up. We do not need to register for that event because it's outdoors. I do need people that are hosting, that want to be a host trunk, to do that, but you don't need to if you're just going to participate. Okay, so that's all I have. I know that's enough. This is a long enough video already. Hopefully that gives you insight into this week. If you have any questions at all, you know that you can always try to reach me by email, and that's jennifer.abdallah@dor.org, and I've got that right here at the bottom for you so that you can email me if you need to, and hopefully we can get you the answers you're looking for. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have an incredible week. Enjoy this beautiful fall weather. This is such a beautiful time of year to really revel in God's creation, so let's all do that together and continue to pray for each other during this back to school time of year, and hopefully we'll all settle in soon enough here. So take care, everyone. God bless. See you soon.